sideways and back, oh, sideways and back. So stay for a minute, yeah, rest for a while. I'll build you a bridge and an anchor made of tiny stones high. Stay for a minute, yeah, rest for a while. It's easy to be lost in a love song.
Meklit Hadero, that's an interesting name. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? Where did it come from?
I'm from Ethiopia, and my father is from the south of Ethiopia, and Hadero comes from the south, and it means milk. And Meklit, I've actually got different versions of what Meklit means, but once when I was in college, I had a friend look up Meklit in a Ge'ez Amharic dictionary. Ge'ez is the ancient language of Ethiopia, and Meklit is a Ge'ez word. And he looked it up in the dictionary, and he said, oh, it means one who knows the balance of things.
Would you say that that applies to your life? Do you feel like you know the balance of things?
I think it's more like a goal.
Okay.
Built-in goal.
So your family, like you said, your family moved here from Ethiopia.
Yeah. So San Francisco is my 12th city, which is kind of unbelievable even to me, looking back on all that. But I was born in Addis Ababa, and we left when I was about a year and a half.
So when you moved down here to San Francisco, what kind of work did you start doing?
6 months after I moved to San Francisco, I found this place, the Red Poppy Art House. What happened was one day I was at a terrible bar in North Beach, and my friends called me and they said, I don't care what you're doing, get over here right now.
Wow.
And so I jumped in a cab 2 minutes later and I arrived at the Red Poppy. And there was, there was a drum kit in that corner, and there was a bass and a guitar in that corner, and up in the loft there was an oud player. And they were all playing in this circular song. And somebody started a call and response, started singing, and boom, in a second, the room lit up. That thing that happens at concerts, which to me is often what people are really looking for. They're looking for music, but what they're looking for is that extra something, that extra kind of transformation that happens when you lose yourself a little bit. Whoa. I always wanted to be a singer. I always wanted music to be at the center of everything. Mm-hmm. But it takes courage, because there are no guarantees.
Right.
And it also takes a kind of diving in that requires abandon. It's a really interesting mix of extreme discipline and pure abandon.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
really being able and willing to go through the uncertainty. And so around that time when I moved to San Francisco, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm really, really going to do this. No more excuses.
And it was right here that you kind of found yourself as a performer as well.
I was very specific in wanting to work with the musicians that I had found here and that I had met and created relationships with through the Red Poppy Art House. And the art house has a particular relationship to jazz as improvised music, the sense of improvisation being so much a part of what the creative spirit is, no matter what the discipline. And jazz has been a huge influence on me, both vocalists, Billie Holiday and Ella Fitzgerald. Mm-hmm. And I love working with jazz musicians, and primarily work with jazz musicians because they're such great improvisers and can make the song anew every time. Mm-hmm. Every time is different. Every time is related to what the space is and who's in there and how people are responding. And that kind of freshness is so wonderful to have with you when you perform.
So how difficult was it to tell your parents, who are both doctors, that you wanted to become a full-time musician?
Well, it was kind of a slow process. The first conversation, you kind of prepare them. And at the same time, I was really like, I'm going to be a musician and I'm going to be a director. You know, it kind of started that way. I'm going to be the director of an art space and I'm going to be a musician. Then at the point where I really started doing music full time, it was at the moment where I already had enough momentum that they were really seeing me being successful, which was exciting to them. And they're so supportive. It's not just them, it's my whole family, my whole, you know, from my aunts to my grandparents. And then outside of that, like actually just the whole Ethiopian diaspora community is so supportive. I get emails from Ethiopians all over the world who are just like, we love you, we support you, and you're representing Ethiopia in a way that it's never been represented before, and keep doing what you're doing. And it's so warm and from the heart and has the feeling of family.
بربش بحرره كبرن يمي بيه كتومن علينا على يود مامون على يود مامون على يود مامون على يود مامون مرتنا بيبا لم لم مامن ايو يا جبردي يسرا وتهتنو يا جبردي يا ماني وتهتو اخرب يو جبردي you give it uno me ane tu abai maro fila auser yallo bere mana kabere abai maro fila auser yallo bere mana kabere abai maro fila auser yallo bere mana kabere ያለው ብርሃን ከበሬ Sideways and back, oh, sideways and back, so stay for a minute, yeah, rest for a while. I'll build you a bridge and an anchor made of tiny stones. I stay for a minute, yeah, rest for a while. It's easy to be lost in a love song.